Over the past few days, we've been hearing a lot about Mayo University Hospital on the national and local media, and much of this has centred around a nurse who wrote an opinion piece for the Mayo News, and it was also featured in an editorial in the Mayo News. Midwest Radio read out the entire piece on the Tommy Marin show last week. Tommy Marin then brought this nurse on the day after and had a long discussion with her about nurses, about a lot of different issues that affected nurses, and he asked her a lot of different things about herself and about her work, but he didn't ask her anything. Tommy Marin, Midwest Radio, didn't ask her anything about the burning issue of our time here in Castlebar and indeed across the country. Why are the staff gagged? Tommy didn't have any questions for the nurse on that.
Oh, it's interesting that Marie, the nurse in question, made it abundantly clear when speaking on Midwest and also in her writing to different news outlets. She made it abundantly clear that she did not want to speak of COVID, and she wasn't interested in speaking about that. But the important thing is, and the very interesting thing is, that Marie did speak of COVID in an interview she gave last July when she had worked 4 months on the COVID-19 ward in here at Mayo University Hospital. I'm going to quote from the interview that Marie gave in July 2020, and I'm quoting: "Elderly people just being carted away up to the wards, and we wouldn't even know what became of that old man or woman. Did they die in ICU? If they went to the wards, they were left all day behind a curtain until somebody, doctor or nurse, had to go in and give them some kind of care." And that's very significant. That old man, that old woman, left behind a curtain all day until somebody, whether a doctor or nurse, had to go in and give them some kind of care. And this is no way to treat our elderly. This speaks of an inhumane manner in which the elderly were treated at this hospital, and I've no doubt in every hospital and nursing home round the country. This is absolute evidence, and Marie has spoken of this very clearly, and what she has brought to light is that it was the older, the elderly, the old man, the old woman, and most of these people had underlying conditions, I have no doubt, and a lot of them had no relatives. And this is a very sad and sinister situation. The staff are gagged, and this is what is happening behind closed doors. We know now that many are in the courts. They bury their dead, they do their grieving, they bury their dead indeed after sudden and unexpected deaths. They do their grieving and then they go to the courts. This is not acceptable. And we heard last week of one legal team that had 40 families suing the HSE. And it's not good enough that we are sitting down and we are allowing this to happen. This is the modern mother and baby homes. This is the modern mother and baby homes right beside us here, right across our land, and indeed right across the world. This is what is happening. I believe our elected representatives, our TDs, our councillors, I believe they know. I have evidence that they know what's happening, but they are not willing up to this point to put the pressure that is necessary on this corrupt, I would say, HSE. And this is what is necessary. They must come now and ask the all-important question. I know even this week councillors are speaking at the HSE Forum West, and they're asking lots of different questions. But we need to ask the all-important question. Why are the staff gagged? Why is there not transparency? Why are we not safe at Mayo University Hospital? We can't move on to other things while the staff are gagged. And I would call upon the staff in here at Mayo University Hospital. I would call upon them, I would call upon the nurses to do the decent thing, to do the respectable thing, and take off the gag, take off the muzzle, stand up for the elderly, stand up for the vulnerable, stand up for those who have no voice, who maybe have no relatives. This is what is necessary.
I just want to remind you once again of the words of that gag. Catherine Donoghue gagged the staff at Mayo University Hospital. She said lots of people in the public may be asking you as hospital worker about business that is and only is the business of the hospital. You are not permitted to discuss any hospital business outside of the hospital. Now, this was a COVID gag, and we know this because it was given to all the staff. This vow of silence, this gagging order was sent to all the staff just at the beginning of the first lockdown. These two things happened together. Something else that the nurse on Midwest Radio said to Tommy, and Tommy agreed, and he really agreed with her, was that we need to move on. You know, we're not going back now to what happened, she said. And Tommy really agreed. He said, yes, we've got to move on now and just forget about what happened. And you know, we have a simple message now as we close this video. We're not moving on. We have questions that must be answered, and we're not going anywhere. And I would encourage you, if you're watching this video today, we have elected representatives. We pay them to do a job. It's to represent the people who elect them. And I hope you'll pick up the phone and call your TDs, your councillors, your senators, whoever it is, and demand your right to find out what is happening inside this hospital, inside the COVID ward. Why are the staff gagged? We need our politicians to do their job now, to step up to the plate, to do their duty, and to get answers for the people who elect them.